perhaps you were wronged in the past, but because you were wronged, the way in which you were wronged, it sent you down a path. And it sent you down a path that made you consider things that you wouldn't have considered before, perhaps because you were too busy, perhaps because you were always working, perhaps because certain things have changed in the family dynamics, perhaps certain changes have happened around people around you, going through different experiences. But this has made you sort of shine your light, and it's put you in a position where you can actually make a choice now. And that opportunity wasn't open to you before because you weren't thinking of things in that way, okay? Aries, Aries, hello Aries, hello, welcome to your reading. I'm not an Aries, I like Aries, it's the old bull up the gate, isn't it? I'm fond of the old Aries star sign, like. Welcome to your reading, Aries. This is Jared from Spiritual Worlds. Thank you for joining me in this video. I am going to be doing a tarot spread for the outlook for September, the good things to look out for, the bad things to look out for. And once we finish with that spread, we're going to look for a message from our lovely spirit guides and hopefully bring through some guidance, some love, some passion, some understanding, some comfort for those that you need it. If you are having a difficult time at the moment, I am sorry, and I'm sending healing vibes and love to you. We are going through some very interesting times in the world right now, Aries, aren't we? And we're all a little bit weary of the future, but this reading might not resonate with every single Aries who watches this video. If it doesn't resonate with you, I do apologise. I will be doing other readings in the future. If it does resonate with you, you might find it resonates in part, it resonates in full. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear. This is the first time I'm doing this. It's a brand new channel. This is part of the series of things I'm going to be doing on this channel. So I'm going to do it at least once a month. So possibly a little bit extra to see how it goes. But this is going to be a reading. So this is going to be the outlook for September, what situations I'm being drawn to. I don't work with inversions in the cards. What I tend to do is just what are they representing to me energetically and spiritually, because I work a lot more intuitively with spirit. So thank you very much for joining me. Right, what have we got? Aries? Right, there's a lot of as if I'm being held back a little bit here, right? There's a situation, I can see a potential coming, but I'm a little bit unsure about it. There's a few variables at play, okay? So as I'm sort of looking and turning into the energy, I feel like there's a situation around you where I want to say, don't rush into it, where you may have to step back and observe, okay? But I feel there's going to be some positive changes this month, okay? There may be small changes, minor changes, just changes to like some relationships with people around you, or this could be quite a big change. This could be a big opportunity, maybe a new job, or maybe a sort of new friends or a new interest or hobby coming into your life. This is about exploring something new, okay, and bringing something new into your horizons, and about moving forward as well with regards to awareness and spirituality. There's a lot of spirituality sort of coming in here as well. There's a lot of spiritual influence coming in. There's a lot of divine influence coming in your reading today, Aries, okay? Excuse me. Wow. Do you know what? This is the first batch of readings I've done. I've done this once before, about 4 years ago. This is the first time I'm doing this, especially with the tarot, and I've learned to use these dragon cards. I love these dragon cards because they're so bloody honest, right? And you can feel the energy coming off. And working with this dragon energy is absolutely sublime. So basically, the star, you are a shining light for those around you right now. And I might feel as you've had to hold the fort. You might have had to be like the guy in the background, sort of like sort of going about your business whilst sort of holding a space for others that are perhaps going through something. Perhaps there's been other people around you that you've found difficult to be with. Perhaps you felt tried, tested, challenged. But I also feel you've kind of had to really look inwardly over the last couple of months, to be honest with you, Aries, and really sort of think about how the world works around you, right? There's a lot of that sort of around you, of like just like a realization and opening up, a sense of change, that your perspective perhaps needs to change, okay? And looking at things that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of before. So broadening horizons, broadening, again, moving it more into a more sort of a way of thinking that's in alignment with love, that's in alignment with positivity, that's in alignment with a sort of a future that you feel is going to be beneficial for you and those around you, okay? Where you're seeing potential and possibilities where you may not have thought you could see them before. This is like you seeing new potential, new things happening around you, even when you might have thought like a year or two ago, because a lot of these readings, and just to explain to you this, a lot of these readings that I'm doing today seem to be linking back to around 2020, when a lot of choices were made, right? And the ripples of those choices that were made during the COVID era, the things that happened during the COVID era, are starting to sort of show themselves in the physical now. With you, it's kind of having a bit of the opposite effect. It felt like something happened to you sort of a few years back, and it's had to change your perspective. It's had to give you outlook. It's giving you time to reflect and sort of look at life in a different way. Look at life from a different point of view, a different perspective. And by doing that, you're kind of inadvertently shining your light on other people. You're having a positive impact on other people, and you may not actually realize that you're doing it right now. You might just it might just be you being you, but by you sort of broadening your outlook, and by you sort of broadening your understanding, by you getting involved and sort of and taking up certain hobbies and sort of becoming more accepting of yourself and the world around you, you're actually creating a state of inspiration. But you're also creating a state where others are maybe being a little bit off with you. You might feel like, oh, my family feel a bit off with me, and it's because this change and shift is happening within inside you, Aries, okay? You're kind of inviting that of others, right? You're inviting that of them, but it's happening on this sort of subconscious, subliminal level, right? Where they don't actually realize what's going on, but they know something's going on, right? And they haven't quite reached that point yet where they're going, oh, that's happened, right? Because you're inviting it to happen in themselves. And it's more on an energetic, on the thought level, on the subconscious level, that this change is happening to you, okay? Now, it's kind of maybe, for some of you, this could have turned your world a bit upside down here, right? It's made it's made you think, it's brought up some of your worst fears, right? I've seen some of you have like been very deeply afraid, and you've been reflective of maybe some of your actions in the past, and you've gone, wow, how the hell did that end up getting worse than it possibly did, worse than it did? It's made you think of like how short life is, right? But I want you to sort of look at this. It feels like there's a situation around you where you may be feeling isolated a little bit, okay? You may be feeling the way you're thinking, the way you're seeing the future, what you're researching, the things that are coming up around your life right now, that other people close to you are not quite identifying with, and you're kind of having to sort of like take certain actions, maybe in a very, very subtle way, right? Just to make ends meet, or just to make the things make things move forward. And this is about you, the Justice card. Wow, so this is about you getting what you feel you deserve, okay? But what you feel is the right for you and the people around you. So it could be the fact that there's certain people around you that have had a negative influence, or a certain mentality that you feel is not helping, okay? And perhaps you have had that mentality before in the past, and you're realizing that in yourself now, and you're realizing, in order for me to change, to get the outcome I want, that there's gonna be there's gotta be a change within, not without. And I feel like there's going to be some of you where people around you are going to be getting their just desserts. If someone's been wronging you, there's going to be an opportunity to put that situation right, okay? This could be sort of surrounding a work situation where perhaps someone has got a promotion in front of you, okay, and that is not going to work out for them, and you were the person that was supposed to be selected, and that person has to leave their job, and you end up actually getting their job, right? So it could be something like that. This feels like something that you thought you were going down a certain road, right? And that it was preempted, right? Or a certain opportunity has come up and you've found yourself in a position where you can actually control the outcome, right? And I feel like there's going to be an opportunity coming up and you've got to kind of go, right, what's the best all around? What's the best for me? What's the long-term prospects? What's the short-term prospects? But how's to get the best outcome for the people around you, right? And also, you're going to find that you are going to be in situations where you're kind of ousting certain people, Aries, where you're kind of like having to say your truth, and certain things are going to come up, and people are going to be like, so if someone's lying to you or being dishonest, right, that's going to come up this month, right? And that's going to have to be dealt with, right? And I don't mean that it doesn't feel like it's going to be a combative way. It's going to be like, hang on, well, you said this, so which is it? Is it this way or is it that way? You know, can we agree upon which way this is going to be? And I think there's a bit of like negotiating going on. I'm seeing negotiations going on here. So if this is a relationship, it could be that perhaps there's been difficulties with the relationship for a while, and you and your partner have to sit down and go, you know, this is not, there's something wrong here. What's happening? How can we change it? What can we put into place? What's interfering? What's interfering with us moving forward, with us being happy here? And how do we snap out that interference? Okay? It is. There's definitely taking action. So I feel like at the middle of the month there's going to be a choice coming up, okay? And there's going to be an opportunity for you to take action. Positive action, alright? It's going to be divisive action though. So it is or it isn't. It's either going to be this way or that way, right? And you need to make a choice, right? And I feel like this is probably around a practical situation. So it doesn't feel like this is around an emotional situation around you. This is a practical situation, okay? This is a situation that says to you, right, do I take this road or that road? What's going to have the better outcome for me? What's going to have the better outcome for those around me? What's going to be the better outcome in general, right? And it feels like it's an opportunity you didn't think that you would get, right? So it feels like there is opportunity element here, and especially this dragon here. It's like he's coming in and he's presenting to you an opportunity to say, look, you know, you might not, you didn't think you would get something like this, but look at the road we're taking you down. We're showing you that just because, you know, you thought there was endings a while back because there was an injustice a while back, perhaps you weren't treated correctly the right. It set you on a path, and this path has brought you a new opportunity. It's brought you a new way of thinking. Something I think as well. This is why this Justice card is coming up. To get drawn back to it, is like perhaps you were wronged in the past, but because you were wronged, the way in which you were wronged, it sent you down a path, and it sent you down a path that made you consider things that you wouldn't have considered before. Perhaps because you were too busy. Perhaps because you were always working. Perhaps because it's certain things have changed in the family dynamics, perhaps certain changes have happened around people around you, going through different experiences, but this has made you sort of shine your light, and it's put you in a position where you can actually make a choice now, and that opportunity wasn't open to you before because you weren't thinking of things in that way, okay? And the Page of Cups, this is a messenger. This is saying, wow, you know, for you to sort of like really continue down that road, right? And it feels like you have worries coming up. There are things coming up that you're concerned about, you're worried about, you're a little bit sort of apprehensive about how are we going to get through this, right? I mean, this is a reminder for you to trust your own insights, to trust your inner wisdom, to trust your inner spirit, to trust your inner child, to trust your experiences from the past, okay? Because by something negative or bad happening to you in the past, it actually was almost like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It got you to that right outcome. So if there is negative things in the future, you have the ability to actually turn that round and create a positive from that experience. I do feel there's a lot of like maybe supporting others, right, around you as well, Aries. I feel like this is a positive. You don't mind taking charge of a situation. You don't mind taking lead. And I feel with your mentality, you like it. You do actually prefer it when you're the sort of one sort of making those decisions and making sure that things are going in the right way. But also be aware that you need to take other people with you, okay? So be aware that other people may have input they'd like to share. Be aware that that other people have expectations and beliefs and that sort of thing, and maybe take that little bit of like a breather before making that choice, before taking that opportunity. You know, you have a chat with your people and you say, I'm going to take this opportunity, this is going to have that consequence. Be aware of the consequences of your actions, okay? So before you make that jump and you take that opportunity, because it might look good on the surface, right? But there may be some unforeseen consequences to it. It's a double-headed dragon, okay? So there may be unforeseen consequences to this opportunity. So it doesn't mean not to take the opportunity. A lot of these consequences here could be negated. This is why this is coming up in the positive thread here, right? Because I feel you're actually quite aware of that. You are actually more aware than people realise, right? But whereas in the past I think you would have jumped straight away and go, yes, you are kind of becoming a bit more thoughtful now, right? You become a bit more thoughtful, go, right, okay, is this working on this side? Right, okay. Is this working on that side? Yeah, okay. Well, so we're going to be better off in this situation? Yes, okay. But is this going to happen? Right, okay. We might have to take a little bit of a chance here. All right. Can we limit the bad that's coming out from there? Okay, so this is where the double-headed dragon is coming in. This is where it's saying, look, you know, we don't have to go into this in a battle that can take charge of this situation, but just be aware that, you know, actions do have consequences, and the more that you can limit those consequences, the better. Okay? Taking time out for yourself, personal care around this time as well, okay? What you don't want to do, again, with that sort of Aries mentality, right, is going for the bullet or gate, going for the knee-jerk reaction. Take time to contemplate your decisions, okay? That decision, that opportunity is not going anywhere, right? You will have a little bit of time to contemplate it, to sort of give you the right decision, okay? So take time just to really sort of like see if this opportunity is going to be right for you, all right? Because there's a great change coming within you. There's a great change. The magician is, you are being shown the magic of the universe. You're going to be shown that not all your worst nightmares come true, that sometimes dreams can come true as well. And there's a bit of a progression here. You know, it's saying that before you may have been the person that sort of went raging into battle without thinking about it, whereas now you kind of become more contemplative. You kind of like looking at certain different outcomes. You know, but don't be too dramatic with it either. You know, be practical, be grounded, right? Take that night to yourself. If that opportunity is presented to yourself, okay, say to that person, okay, I'll give you an answer, you know, in the next couple of days, all right? But take that time, right? If you know that opportunity is coming, if it's something you're seeing on the horizon, take the time now before the opportunity actually manifests, okay, to make sure it is the right choice for yourself, all right? And you'll see that there's change there. Is that you are going to be in a position, I feel, where you actually hold that sort of personal power. You hold the cards. Are you going to go this way, or are you going to go that way? Okay, you hold the position of power here. You're being given a choice. So just a few things to watch out for. All right. Be aware. Again, be aware of being too enclosed. Okay, so be open. Be open with the actions that you're taking with those around you, okay? Though they might feel like there's a few people that are maybe a bit aloof, perhaps there's certain situations where people are getting the wrong idea, okay? The more open that you can be, the more authentically you can be, okay? You know, sometimes, you know, and this has come up a lot for people, realise that we make mistakes, okay? And the sooner you sort of address those concerns, right? You know, address the little things before they become big things, right? The better off you're going to be, okay? As long as you're open and honest with people. And again, the Queen of Pentacles, you're passionate about this change. You know, you've been introduced to a new world of thinking, a new understanding, and you don't quite know what to do with it, to be perfect at the moment. Realize that there is forces at work that are not beyond your understanding, but like subconscious, subliminal, underneath the surface, that you might not be aware of yet, but that energy is around you and it is guiding you, okay? The circumstances that have led you to this point have guided you to a point of realization, a point of a point of choice, basically, okay? And that's giving you here, right, that personal power, okay? And it's saying, you know, with the star and the magician here, it's saying you have that light and you can actually give that power. What are you going to do with that power? You're going to use that power to manipulate others, you're going to use that power to inspire others, or you're going to use that, how are you going to use that power, okay? How are you going to use what you've learned? How are you going to apply that in a day-to-day grounded form, all right? And again, this Seven of Swords, be aware of times where you need to step back, right? Sometimes you need you want a resolution, you want an answer, and you want it now. And sometimes you got to realize the world just doesn't work that way, right? And there are times where there are going to be people around us that need to go through things and we may not necessarily agree with, and we might find frustrating, we might find difficult to deal with, right? And sometimes we need to say our piece, say our truth to that person, step back and let them go through things at their own pace, and just be there at the other side when they come out, right? That's the kind of the thing when you have these sort of divine influences coming in. It's asking you to hold a space for others, even if you're feeling embattled yourself, even if you're feeling a bit down yourself. You've actually got a lot more inner strength coming in, okay? There's a lot of this feminine power coming in as well. The fact that this queen energy coming in here is kind of disrupting. It's disrupting the energy of the past. She's coming in and she's saying, right, you can carry on going the way that things were in the past, but perhaps they're going to have the outcome that you're not looking for, right? It's going to lead back to this injustice, right? But if you actually sort of like take that step back, and she's saying, hang back, look at the situation, be aware of it, take a breath, take a step back, go for a walk, come back at the situation. You're not letting anyone down, right? You're stepping back to be in observation, right? And this is what it's saying, is the more that you can be in observation, because these two cards work in unison here because they're kind of reflecting each other, right? The more that you're actually in observation, right, and not in judgment, right? Right, the more you just kind of in observation of, oh, this is how this works, this is how that works, right? The better kind of energy is going to come forth within your life in the coming year, okay? Right, oh, I keep forgetting about the message from the guides, and I've done this for the second reading now. So I'm going to ask for a message from our beautiful guides. Can I have a bit more confirmation for Aries, or anything else Aries needs to know, please? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we got here Two of Cups. So again, this choice energy, right? Are you going to go the old way, or are you going to go the new way? Okay? Are you you're flipping a coin, right? Are you going to which path are you going to take? And remember, you're not turning your back on anyone. Okay? Again, this is almost like turning your back on the past, on the way things were in the past. Accepting the past is the past, okay? And accepting that certain things happened in the past and maybe you were happy with, right? But understanding that with those situations you've grown and you've learnt, right? What you have now you cherish more because of what you've been through, because of the difficulties that you've done, because you've faced up to these things. And you'll be aware of your nature, right? If you truly think this choice is the right thing to go for it, right? Take that action, right? But just be aware that there may be consequences down the line. As long as you're willing to sort of embrace those consequences and turn those consequences into opportunities, right? Then you're assuring it's great. You're fantastic, right? Kind of maybe contradicting myself there, but that's what it's basically saying to you. It's like, if you're okay with that, right, then that's fine, right? But just be aware that, you know, you are in a kind of a bit of a leadership position with regards to this as well, all right? And sometimes you need to stand on your principles and, you know, just be aware to say to people, I'm taking this choice because, okay? And yeah, so it's saying decisive action. You know, even if you have to take a step back and contemplate it for a while, that choice this month needs to be made. So there's a lot of that energy regarding choice coming up for a lot of people across the board. So I hope that resonates with you, Aries. Thank you very much for working with me today. I will be doing further readings. Please again leave a like, comment down below if this resonates with you. And also, I will be doing private readings, which you can get through my website, which is spiritualworlds.org. It is under construction at the moment, so the system for booking readings is not yet up and running. But if you are interested in a reading with me, just drop me a message to my Facebook page, which is Spiritual Worlds on Facebook. Okay, and I'll be doing other readings soon as well. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter eventually, which will be in the description below with the updated information. Thank you very much, Aries. It's been a pleasure working with you. Send your love, send your healing. You know, this is going to be a good month for you guys. Alright, so you take care of yourselves. I've been Jared Walters.